In this video, we will understand types of chemical reactions. We have learnt that during a chemical reaction, atoms of one element do not change into those of another element. Nor do atoms disappear from the mixture or appear from elsewhere. Actually, chemical reactions involve the breaking and making of bonds between atoms to produce new substances. Different types of reactions are: first, combination reaction; second, decomposition reaction; third, displacement reaction; fourth, double displacement reaction; fifth, oxidation and reduction. Combination reaction. Take a small amount of calcium oxide in a beaker. Slowly add water to this. When we touch the beaker, we feel rise in temperature of the water. This has happened because calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce calcium hydroxide, releasing a large amount of heat. In this reaction, calcium oxide and water combine to form a single product, calcium hydroxide. Such a reaction, in which a single product is formed from two or more reactants, is known as a combination reaction. Decomposition reaction. Take about 2 gram ferrous sulfate crystals in a dry boiling tube. Note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystals. Heat the boiling tube over the flame of a burner or spirit lamp as shown in. Observe the color of the crystals after heating. Have you noticed that the green color of the ferrous sulfate crystals has changed? You can also smell the characteristic odor of burning sulfur. In this reaction, you can observe that a single reactant breaks down to give simpler products. This is a decomposition reaction. Displacement reaction. Take 3 iron nails and clean them by rubbing with sandpaper. Take 2 test tubes marked as A and B. In each test tube, take about 10 ml copper sulfate solution. Tie 2 iron nails with a thread and immerse them carefully in the copper sulfate solution in test tube B for about 20 minutes. Keep 1 iron nail aside for comparison. Compare the intensity of the blue color of copper sulfate solutions in test tubes A and B. Also compare the color of the iron nails dipped in the copper sulfate solution with the one kept aside. Why does the iron nail become brownish in color and the blue color of copper sulfate solution fades? The following chemical reaction takes place in this activity. In this reaction, iron has displaced or removed another element, copper, from copper sulfate solution. This reaction is known as displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. Take about 3 ml of sodium sulfate solution in a test tube. In another test tube, take about 3 ml of barium chloride solution. Mix the two solutions. What do you observe? You will observe that a white substance, which is insoluble in water, is formed. This insoluble substance, formed, is known as a precipitate. Any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called a precipitation reaction. What causes this? The white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed by the reaction of sulfate and barium. The other product formed is sodium chloride, which remains in the solution. Such reactions in which there is an exchange of ions between the reactants are called double displacement reactions. Oxidation and reduction reaction. Heat a china dish containing about 1 gram copper powder. What do you observe? The surface of copper powder becomes coated with black copper oxide. Why has this black substance formed? This is because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. If hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material, cupric oxide, the black coating on the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained. If a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. During this reaction, the copper oxide is losing oxygen and is being reduced. The hydrogen is gaining oxygen and is being oxidized. In other words, one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Such reactions are called oxidation-reduction reactions or redox reactions. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe our channel.